Former German Defense Minister von der Leyen has secured the European Parliament's vote for a top job. She's become the first female European Commission President. Von der Leyen will now be in charge of trade negotiations, economic and climate policy for Europeans. Ahead of the vote, she said she would propose as a Green Deal for Europe in her first 100 days in office. Christine Lagarde has resigned as chief of International Monetary Fund. Her resignation will be effective from September 12th. This comes after she was nominated for the European Central Bank's top job. The European Parliament is set to hold a vote for Lagarde's appointment. This is expected to be finalized in October. The U.S. House of Representatives has approved a resolution condemning the racist comments by President Donald Trump. The 235 Democrats were joined in by 4 Republicans and an independent in their support for the resolution. Trump, in a tweet, had made comments on 4 Congresswomen criticizing their place of origin. The comments were deemed racist and faced criticism from within the U.S. and globally as well. President Trump, when facing the heat, acted indifferently, asking the women to leave America if they did not like it. U.S. President Donald Trump has been facing the heat from all sides over his recent tweets. Speaker of House Nancy Pelosi has described the tweets as racist and disgusting. She added that it was shameful to see how Trump continued defending himself against offensive remarks. Meanwhile, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has defended the president, saying that he is not racist, even though saying that the tone was not right. The U.S. has denounced Turkey's S-400 deal with Russia. U.S. President Donald Trump said that he will not sell Turkey's F-35 fighter jets. However, he did not mention that U.S. would press sanctions to punish Turkey. Trump also said that U.S. has a good relation with Turkey. He blamed his predecessor, Barack Obama, for forcing Turkey to buy the S-400 system from the U.S. U.S. President Donald Trump said that he is not looking for a regime change in Iran, but added that he was determined to stop Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons. Tensions between U.S. and Iran have escalated since the attack on 2 oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz. The 2 nations have been engaged in a war of words since the incident, and Iran recently crossed the uranium enrichment limit set by the nuclear deal. Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khomeini has said that Iran will respond to the Gibraltar tanker seizure at the quote-unquote right time. He's referred to the UK as evil. Britain has said that they will not leave such evil deeds unanswered. He also called the seizure of an Iranian oil tanker in Gibraltar an act of British piracy. Iran has called on Britain to immediately release the oil tanker, which was seized by British Royal Marines on suspicion it was breaking European sanctions by taking oil to Syria. The World Trade Organization has said that the United States did not comply with its 2012 ruling, and hence it could face sanctions from China if it does not remove certain sanctions which break the WTO rules. U.S. government has criticized WTO for its ruling. China had challenged the U.S. anti-subsidy tariffs worth $7.3 billion at that time.
Thank you.
10 Turkish sailors have been taken hostages by armed pirates off the coast of Nigeria. Turkish Foreign Ministry and Intelligence Agency are working on the matter. A Turkish flag cargo ship was attacked in the Gulf of Guinea and sailed from Cameroon to Ivory Coast without freight. Kidnappings and piracy, in fact also piracy for ransom in Nigeria and the Gulf of Guinea are common. The International Maritime Bureau described the Gulf as the most dangerous area in the world for piracy. It is said that 73% of all sea kidnappings and 92% of hostage takings took place in the Gulf. Indian Coast Guard, in a co-coordinated operation with Bangladesh, Coast Guard has successfully repatriated 516 fishermen along with 32 Indian fishing boats from Bangladesh. The boats, which were stranded, had taken refuge in the port in Bangladesh. They were over 130 kilometers away from the international maritime boundary. The boats have been handed over to Indian Coast Guard ships Vijay and Anmol. The boats are being escorted to Kakdweep harbour. Meanwhile, search for 24 other Indian fishermen are on. Both India and Bangladesh are involved in the rescue operation. Elizabeth Borne will be taking over as the new Environment Minister of France. Her appointment was announced by President Emmanuel Macron on Tuesday. She will be replacing François de Rugy, who resigned following a report on his high spending on private dinners and renovations of his ministerial residence. De Rugy has denied the accusations and said that he will continue to the fight. French lawmakers have approved a bill collection of donations for the reconstruction of the Notre Dame Cathedral. The bill authorizes tax reductions for individual donors and creation of a public body in charge of the collection of funds. Some parliamentarians have said that a 5-year timeline will, however, not be enough for reconstruction. On April 15, the iconic cathedral caught fire and its trademark spire collapsed into flames. Family and friends gathered in upstate New York in remembrance of a 17-year-old girl who was killed on Sunday. Bianca Devins was killed by a man whom she met on social media platform Instagram. Photos of a corpse were posted online by the alleged assailant and redistributed over and over again. The suspect was captured by the police while he was attempting suicide and is being held on charge of murder and attempted suicide. Thousands of model rockets were launched in Huntsville in order to mark 50 years after the Apollo 11 mission launch. The U.S. Space and Rocket Center launched the rockets yesterday in an attempt to create a world record by shooting for an altitude of 100 feet. Huntsville, which is also known as Rocket City, was home to the 3 astronauts that went on the moon mission 50 years ago: Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, and Michael Collins.
Hubble engineering work, Chandra.
Every time I get
Michael Collins, one of the astronauts of the Apollo 11 mission, walked down at the launch pad from where they took off on July 16, 1969. Collins recollected how he felt during the mission. He said that the 3 astronauts were aware of the weight of the world on their shoulders. Collins said that there was no reason to go back to the moon. However, he said he supports NASA's Mars mission.
That's going to do it for us, for all of us here at NASA. I'm Daryl Nail. We'll see you next time. But until then, about 100 of the 400 Apollo 11 engineers who work here.
Pakistan continues to reel under floods. At least 24 people have been killed after a cloudburst led to heavy flooding. The sudden burst of heavy rains caused large-scale devastation in Neelam Valley of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Over 150 houses and 2 mosques have been affected. The victims include 9 locals and 11 tourists who were washed away by the powerful flash floods. Several people remain stranded and efforts to rescue them are underway. So far, a total of 52 people have been rescued and brought to the camps where they are receiving food and medical treatment. Monsoon flooding and landslides continue to create havoc in Nepal. 78 people have died in the Himalayan nation and the death toll is likely to rise. More than 40,000 soldiers and police officers are delivering food, tents and medicine to 1,000 people via helicopters. Search and rescue operations are underway for 32 people who are still missing after causing floods and landslides in Nepal. 3 rivers have been overflowing in India at a mark that is considered dangerous. parts of eastern Bihar has been submerged and led to the deaths of at least 24 people. Eleven civilians, including 3 children, have been killed in the recent airstrikes in Syria. Assad's regime, in alliance with Russian forces, bombarded rebel-held northwest Syria. Marshourin, a village in south of Idlib province, came under attack. Another man was killed in regime airstrikes on the countryside of nearby Hama province. Russian and Syrian regime aircraft have ramped up strikes in Idlib since late April, killing more than 600 civilians. Government forces have also been locked in battle with extremist and allied rebels. A fire broke out in Iraq's southern Basra oil export terminal. The fire halted loading operations of crude oil. The accident occurred in a residential section of the terminal and did not directly damage the oil infrastructure. Fire erupted today early in the morning and was put out 2 hours later, according to port officials. Basra port was restored full operation with no stoppage at the oil exports jetties. Thousands of people have been evacuated from a festival site on a Croatian island after the fire broke out in a nearby forested area. Croatian police said that the fire took hold close to the beach clubs where the festival was taking place. A statement says no one has been injured and the fire is under control. The beach on the island is famous for summer festivals and parties. It was not immediately clear what caused the fire. A massive fire swept through a neighborhood in the Amazonian jungle city of Peru. Fire has left some 50 homes destroyed. The flames could be seen rising from both sides of a street in the city on the upper Amazon River as firefighters and locals battle the blaze. At least 13 people have been killed and 9 people have been injured as a 4-story building collapsed in Indian financial capital of Mumbai. The incident happened at around 11:30 a.m. IST on Tuesday. The rescue operations are still on by teams of National Disaster Response Force. The building is believed to have been more than 100 years old. The mishap happened in the crowded Dongri locality of Mumbai. Rescue operations have been hampered by narrow and flooded lanes. Maharashtra Chief Minister has said that the probe will find out where the redevelopment work failed. Mexico's Disaster Prevention Agency has reported that a volcano has spewed water, gas, vapor and ash. 3 moderate eruptions have taken place since Monday. The ash, however, did not fall in localities near the volcano. Large quantities of cocaine was discovered in the Brazilian city of Sao Paulo on Tuesday. Cocaine was discovered inside soap powder boxes after customers approached the local police. A suspect has been arrested after he was found loading his vehicle with 32 cocaine-filled boxes.
ela vai multiplicar por 3, por 4, então...
2-year-old twins joined at the head have undergone a successful surgery at a British hospital in London. A highly complex surgery involved multiple operations to separate their skulls, brains and blood vessels. Pakistan national Safa and Marwa Ullah were born with joined and intertwined skulls and parts of their brains. 5 months after their final operation, they are now making slow but steady progress.
You can see the artery, but to do anything to it, we'll use the microscope.
A giant mural has been put up in the Mexican city of Guadalajara in honor of the famous painter Magdalena Carmen Frida Kahlo. The mural, titled Magdalena, has been created by Irish artist Finn Dack. The mural is measuring around 25 by 11 meters. It was made as part of the in one of the festivals and was made over 12 days. An alligator has been captured in the city of Chicago after playing hide and seek for a long time. The 5 feet 3-inch alligator named Chance the Snapper was captured by an expert specially brought in from Florida using a fishing pole. The alligator's jaws were shut using a tape as it was presented in front of the media. Keepers at the Phoenix Zoo are providing animals with plenty of water and ice in order to beat the heat. Most of the exhibits also have pools to keep them cool. The National Weather Service said the Phoenix witnessed its hottest with the temperatures rising to 46 degrees Celsius.